Okay ladies, so eyebrows 101, okay? What we want to do first of all is make sure that we are preparing our skin, which includes the skin that our eyebrows sit on for makeup before we even start. So what we want to make sure we're doing first of all is priming our skin, because what this is going to do is ensure that our makeup goes on easier, it stays in place longer, and you know, it isn't going to shift. It's also going to help your colour to pop. It's going to fill in any fine lines and wrinkles. It is going to ensure that your product goes further. So ultimately you're going to be paying less in the long run. So before we do anything makeup wise, we want to make sure that we have primed our skin. Now once we're primed and we've let that primer sink in for a couple of minutes, we want to make sure that we've got the right tools for the job that we want to do. You know, the right tools can absolutely make our makeup routine, make our finish look better. The tools that we use can either make our job harder or easier. That's the way that I look at it. So for this tutorial, I am going to be using a spoolie brush, and I'm going to be using a Brow Artist brush, which is flat on one side and it's a liner and shader brush on the other side. First of all, what I'm going to do is just brush my very sparse brows into the direction that I actually want them to go, and I am using my spoolie brush to do that. So I'm just going to brush them, just make sure that they're all going in the direction that I want them to, that they're separated and that they're working with me. Next, I'm going to use my Brow Artist brush, and I'm going to use the liner and shader side, and I'm going to mark out where I want my eyebrow to go. So I'm going to mark out where it starts, where it arches and where it finishes. So for me, the thing that I use to do my brows, the product, I use an all-in-one because I'm all about simplicity, I'm all about versatility, and I love a product that can do anything and everything basically. So for me, to do my brows, I use my brow palette. It's got a couple of shades in there in terms of the colour that I want to use on my brows. It's got a gel, which means that I can use that to help my brow stay in place and set it, and it's got a couple of highlighters. So I'm going to use that alongside my brow pencil, and all I'm going to do now is use the markers that I've set to create my brow. Okay, so first of all what I'm going to do is use the liner and the shader edge of my brush, and I'm just going to dip it in this paler shade. Okay, and what I'm going to do first of all is start from here, so where my brow begins, and I'm going to bring it up to this middle point, the point that's going to be the arch of my brow, and I'm going to line the underside of my brow with the liner and shader side of my brush. See that? So I've created a line. I'm then just going to do the exact same thing from there, from the arch down to where my eyebrow is going to finish. Can you see that? So we're starting to build a template for my eyebrow. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top. So I'm just going to outline the top of my brow to where I set my marker. See that? And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing again, bringing it down to where my brow is going to finish. Now all I'm going to do is fill this in with the exact same product that I've just used to outline my brow. Then I'm going to take the flat edge of my brush and I'm going to dip that in the gel in my palette. Okay, and I'm just going to, in up and down motions, vertical motions here, I'm just going to rub it on there, because what this is going to do is just give it, just at the very edge, the very beginning of my brow there, it's going to give it that little bit more of a natural finish so that it's not as in your face, full on powder, false looking eyebrow. But that's just going to break it up a little bit and make it look as though it's the start of my brow. So as natural brows go, okay? And I'm also just going to brush the gel through the rest of my brow, because this is just going to help to set that brow and just help to calm the hairs down. So we're just going to comb the hairs into place. Okay. Finally, I'm going to use these two colours as a little bit of a highlight underneath my brow bone, because that is going to help to lift my brow up as well as the arch that we've created. Look, you can see the difference, okay, between the two. Brows really do frame your face, and they can give the appearance of an instant brow lift. So we want to highlight underneath this brow bone so that it lifts it up. It gives it that more light. It gives it more colour. And ultimately, you know, your eye is automatically lifted. There's more space between your eye and your eyebrow. And it is that ultimate brow lift. Okay, ladies, so that is it. My brow is done from barely there and sparse to a full-blown brow. So I'm going to go away, I'm going to do the other side, I'm going to do the rest of my face, and I'm going to come back so that you can see both of my brows and exactly how brows really do frame your face, and that they're not as scary. And I hope that's what I've done within this video, is to help you to see that eyebrows really aren't that scary, you know, and just play. Practice makes better. Doesn't make perfect, because I am not perfect by any means, but it does make better.